Hello, everyone. It's Yogi here. Good morning, good afternoon, and maybe good evening as well. And welcome to the session today. I can't wait to stitch. And so today, this is the piece I've been working on. It's been over a week, maybe nearly 10 days. I haven't put any love into this project. So tonight is the night. And so this piece is from amazing artist Cairo Marchetti. That's the version I'm sticking to. And let me just quickly show you the full markup here. Oh, look at this. A beautiful kitchen cupboard full of amazing goodies. And look at the background, the color of the tiles at the back there, from blue transition to purple to the right there, is mesmerizing. And all the items on the shelf there is just to die for. And so this is the piece I'm going to be working on. It's called The Old Kitchen. It's a mini version. Let me switch back. So this version, this piece I've been working on since the beginning of the year, when I kind of dived into the half stitches, 10 stitches, kind of adventure there. I started a few pieces working this way, and I've been thoroughly enjoying it. I love 10 stitches. It's official. So my progress here, let me show you my pattern keeper. So currently I'm at 3.17%, which is not too bad, considering I've got so many pieces going on here, as you can see on the channel, and I'm starting from zero today. And just to quickly show you in terms of where I am, give you a sense of the completion area versus entire piece. So, it's a mini, but it's by no means small. It's a heaven and earth design. We're talking about that. So we're talking about 9 pages roughly. That's a standard mini size there. So I'm optimistic. With these mini pieces, maybe, just maybe, I'm able to complete one of them at some point before the full-size ones. And also I'm working 10 stitches, so in theory it's a little bit faster. So let me pop back my tablet here to set it up and have a quick look on the chat here. We have Rajal says, Yogi, good evening to you. And Suzanne C is here. Susan, sorry, I kept mixing up. Susan C is here. She says, hi, everyone. Suzanne is here as well. Hello, Suzanne. Sarah is here. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, Sarah. And Gritty as well. She says, hello, everyone. And this is a name I've never seen before on the chat, is Nicole. Can I just call you Nicole? Or Nicholson? Sorry, Nicholson. Hi, my first time to a live. Welcome. And Brittany is here as well. Hello, Brittany. Brittany can only join us in the weekend, so enjoy it. And oh, that's a language I don't understand. And Natalia is here as well. Hello, Natalia. Great friend of the channel. So with this piece, I'm working on 25 count even weave, and this is a DMC fabric. You can tell it's pre-gridded, which helps a lot, particularly if you're thinking about starting on smaller stitches on 25 counts and you are worried you might get a little bit lost. Definitely go for a gridded version to start with, and just allow your eyes to kind of find their way and get used to the fabric. And on top of that, I'm using CXC. And the reason I'm using CXC is when it comes to half stitches, CXC really excels. It provides great coverage. They're lovely and velvety and fluffy to work with. And you can see, you can hardly tell they're different from full stitches, very full and really rich in color as well. And Nikki's here as well. Nikki, hello. And so the previous sessions, just give you a recap. So up to the last session, which is about, over a week ago, 10 days ago, I was working, in the beginning, I was working block by block, row by row to start with. And then I discover color completion actually works really well as well, because initially I was worried that because CXC is so full and the stitches are fairly small, I thought that, the stitches might get jammed together. So I went row by row, which was a little bit slower, but you get really neat finish. And then I discover color completion actually worked quite well. I didn't have really any issues stitching color completion, which means I know my Siri is very active again. I didn't say anything. Siri, please go away. And so color. Oh, hello, Siri. Siri, goodbye. Bye bye. Please don't come back until I tell you to. And the Siri on my phone has just got live of its own. Please go away now. Thank you. Bye. And no problem. Thank you. And so color completion. So color completion works quite well here. But last session, if you actually were here or watched the playback, I ventured into mini cross country. I wanted to see if my eyes can get used to the sort of slightly different shape of the stitches, which is not a full cross, and when they are kind of in a sort of random area scattered around. And my verdict is that perhaps for me, I'm not ready for it, because last session, even though mini cross country in theory should be faster, it actually took me a lot of effort and time just to figure out where it was, even though I was working, within the pretty small area here. I think my eyes are just not ready. So I'm going to embrace that and not to see that as, as a failure. I'm going to resume to color completion. I really enjoy that. And it's a very neat and tidy way of working. So that's where I am today. That's what I'm going to do today. So I am going to start from this block. I think this block would be a really good candidate here. And then I'm going to start completing the color one by one. And normally I start from bottom, working upwards if I have part threads. So that's where I am. And let's have a look. And Gritty says, where can you buy, I think you were referring to CXC yarn, the floss. Yes, it is cheaper than DMC, okay? And it's particularly relevant for us here in Europe and in the UK as well, because CXC, in comparison to the US or North America, it's quite pricey in comparison. And if you want to kit up like a massive project, like you have posted on the Facebook with the Max Color super size sweet shop, okay? And then you need to have at least, I would say, an entire set of CXC to start with. That would be a lot easier rather than trying to buy them one by one, to the loose scans. So if you're interested in CXC, I buy mine from, let's have a look, from Etsy. From Etsy, it's about, in British money, it's just, it's about £45 for the entire set without the first 150 numbers, the newer colors. And it's I can give out the name actually, because I bought 2 sets from them. If you're interested, you can have a look. I think they're based in the UK. I'm not sure. Let me just quickly have a look. I think a lot of people are not familiar with CXC. It's worth looking into. because there is very interesting texture to stitch with, and I'm really enjoying it. Let me just quickly look up. Yes, let me look up the vendor here. Okay, so the vendor is called Cross and Crafts. They're based in England, you can see, and I bought two sets from them, two sets of CXC from them with no difficulty. They're very good with customer service, so this is the go-to vendor there, just so you know if you're interested. And with that, I am going to start my stitching today. Today's been a wonderful day teaching, and oh, great classes, great energy from everyone. It's amazing on such warm day. Well, today is, relatively, it's not as warm as a couple of days ago, but still quite warm and humid. People managed to get up early in the morning, get there at 10 o'clock to practice with me. You can't ask for, any more than that. And they worked so hard. I gave them a lot of challenges today and a lot of moves they probably didn't even know exist. And they did really, really well. Everybody was just focusing on their breathing and be fully present there. You can always tell when people are there, not just physically, but every fiber of their being. You can tell. You can sense their breath. Oh, glorious. I'm so lucky. I am so lucky. So I am starting with this thread here. And let me see if I can zoom in nice and big. And by the way, I'm streaming in 4K. And if you're lucky enough to be at home in a home Wi-Fi, then make sure you tune into the stream in 4K glory. You can see every stitch and every fiber of the fabric. How nice. So what I do is I complete the color, all the stitches of a given color within that 10 by 10 block, and then I'll look to the right to see if there's anything, the next stitch. There's one, but slightly further. I actually have another stitch just right down here, the first stitch of the next block. So I tend to choose the one that's nearest. Sometimes I don't, sometimes I go to the right. So you want to, the first choice is always the block that you are going to do first. So that's kind of how I judge it. If I go diagonally, which is not, very strict at the moment, I kind of, I get a bit relaxed about that. So, and, okay, so arrow from Dream Stitch, is that different kind of thread? I can't remember, or just a different vendor. But there are probably multiple places you can get CXC. And also I'll be interested in trying out different brand of floss as well. There are quite a few being mentioned in the chat, in the past, weeks or so. They sound very intriguing. I'm always curious. And I love to try them all so I know which one is for me. So I think it's always good to keep your mind open. There are a lot of good alternatives out there, I'm sure. They're working very hard to create beautiful threads for us. And over here, oh, there's one over there already. So what I'm going to do is, watch everyone, watch. I didn't realize this was going to be the last stitch of this color. So if you're with us or have been watching the last few streams, there's a new ending method called Boomerang, coined by our lovely Joyce on the chat. Joyce is not here just yet. Hopefully she can join us. But basically it's called Boomerang. And so I'm going to demonstrate it. If you missed the last few sessions or not sure how to do it, this is how you do it. So this is a wonderful thread ending method for 10 stitches. 10 stitches is very tricky to end because you don't have a lot of coverage on the stitches. You can't hide the thread. So what you do is the first thing though, you need to know that this is going to be your last stitch. So sometimes you miss it, it's okay, just undo it like I just did. So you go from the bottom left corner. This is how I normally do it. You can convert it to the way you do it, but the principle is the same. From the bottom left here, I'm going to complete this stitch as normal-ish and play and insert my needle to the upper right corner. Once you're there, don't pull it straight down. Leave a loop here, okay? And Natalia is here as well. Natalia is the person that brought us this technique. She learned from, I think, guys from Ukraine. Is it Ukraine? I can't remember. Oh, Croatia. Stitches, I can't remember. Please correct me. They should be fully credited. And then now I am actually going to come up from the bottom right, and you probably go, wait a second. And that's what I thought exactly when I first learned this technique. I am going to come from bottom right as if I'm going to do a full cross, which I'm not, okay? Gonna pull my thread up and actually thread my needle through the loop there, and then gently pull the stitch tight there. Not super tight, okay? Leave it a little bit leeway. There's a danger from my experience using it for the last few days, last week or so. If you pull too tight, sometimes the thread actually slips under the threads. It happens sometimes, depends on where you are on the fabric. And then once I pull the the thread through the loop and tuck it in quite snugly, now I'm going to come back from where I'm coming from, which is bottom left. This is why it's called Boomerang. It's a beautiful name, named by Joyce, and Stitchy Dutchy, that's her handle. And pull it down, okay? And watch this. You cannot tell, not really. There's a little bit sticking out on the right there, but majority of the floss, the thread is being tucked down. And once all the surrounding stitches are stitched, you cannot tell the difference. You cannot see that's a little bit extra sticking out there. And also because we're threading the needle through the loop, it's super secure. It's extremely secure. And all you have to do when you end the thread is to take it a couple of stitches away, just leave a little bit of tail there and snip it off. That's it. That's it. And I bet later on when I complete this block, you cannot see there's anything different with this particular stitch. So there you go. That's a Boomerang new technique for you. And I'll try to clip this bit and post this video if you need reference to come back. Okay, so this is a wonderful way of ending your thread. A lot of us are using it now every day and really enjoying it, because prior to that, you can tell, you can see there are a lot of end threads here. This is how I ended my threads before this technique. And what happens is there's a lot of build-up. I have to take the end thread all the way down 10 stitches away minimum, and then tuck it there. So a couple problems. One is the build-up of underneath the fabric. Even if you don't mind it, what happens here is my part threads run into these end threads very frequently. So the multiple problems with this, but that was my best solution at that time. But now I have better options. So this is what I'm doing. I'm very, very happy. So let me tuck this back. 3A63, 3A63 here. 3A63, pop my needle back. Gretty asks, it's a CXC, not double C, CXC. I don't know what they stand for. Do they have the same colors as DMC? I believe so, but the full set doesn't come with newer colors. The first 150, up to 150, they don't have, but the rest, they have they have them as full set, and you can get additional colors from them. They have them, so the colors are compatible, fully compatible with DMC. So there's no conversion that's required. Yes, Suzanne, yes, I think they're fully compatible. They should, I think they have all the colors. You just need to buy them separately on top of the set. Let's have a look. This one, I looked at the wrong block here. So and this one as well, again, it's the last one of this block, but there's a couple of stitches over here. I'm going to just take it over diagonally. So I improvise sometimes. Normally I wouldn't tail them so far away, but I am going to do so. And let me see. 1, 2, 3. There. So I don't need to end it. So this way of working is really all about managing your thread, your part threads, so you don't get confused or overwhelmed. And it's important to mark your part threads properly. I very frequently forget to mark the part threads, so I end up being a little bit confused and not knowing, you know, what thread it is sometimes. So it's all part of the process. Let me switch to a different needle. That one didn't like me. And by the way, then the size of the needle I'm using for 2 strands, I use 26, single strand 28, pretty much. So just keep things simple. Move it over here. Hey, Adri, hello. Welcome. How are you? How are you today, my darling? And are you working today, Adri? It's a Sunday though, but airport, you never know. So yoga teachers, we're busier in the weekend. One more here. Two more. It's nice and fast. I definitely prefer working block by block than cross country with half stitches. You know, with full stitches, it's very easy to tell the position of the stitches, but not so much with half stitches, at least for me at this stage. And I'm going to park it down here. And Nikki, you are working on this piece as well, aren't you? And I'm sure Vicky, not Vicky, Nikki is probably ahead of me. I'm 3% right now. I bet Nikki is probably 5 by now. Wouldn't surprise me one bit. Suzanne says, I'm finding the boomerang ending feels a little bit extra thick. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. No, I don't think it is, because it is a little bit thicker because you've got double amount of the floss underneath, so that's not wrong. But I think the proof of the pudding is, can you tell the difference afterwards? First of all, is it nice and secure? Which I think it is. But even if it's a little bit thicker, those stitches are scattering around in different places. They're not concentrated together. And so ultimately, you probably can't tell. I can't. So let me know your experience. And I find them might have a little bit of build up, but it's within a single stitch there. So I don't notice it once the area is fully stitched. And I think that's a really good trade-off comparing to having to do this, you know, that just imagine how much floss, not to think about wasting, just think about the build-up underneath that's unnecessary, just to end a thread. I don't like to do that as much as I can, so I love this method. Where am I? Here. Just one stitch, okay? So this stitch, I'm going to do a boomerang as well. Needle down. Come up to the right. Once you practice a couple of times, it's so easy. Thread it through. And not to pull too hard. And then just insert the needle down. And then needle down. And that's it. It's there. The purple one. There. Really lovely. Oh, let me bring up the little mark up here for your reference. Move it over here a little bit. Oh, Natalia says Ukraine. Yes, those the person who came up with this method, they were Ukrainian stitchers. So gratitude and big thanks to Natalia for bringing us this stitch to us. We will enjoy a lot. Adri says she's on her way home. Also, I got banned from a lot of airlines because of a mistake I did. Oh dear. What? I'm too afraid to ask what kind of mistake that is. Oh, you have to be so cautious working at somewhere like airline because it's all about safety, isn't it? Two here. There. Let me see. There's actually one more stitch down here, so I'm going to part down. There. Beautiful. And Heather's here. She says, hello, friend. Happy Sunday indeed. It's always weird because I work more in a weekend. So when people say, whoa, happy Sunday, nice and restful, I'm thinking, oh, it's actually really, a very busy day. Rose is here as well. She says, hello, everyone. And Ah, okay. Suzanne says she notices it more because she's using a magnifier. Yeah, if you remove the magnifier for a moment and look at the stitches, I bet you probably can't tell. That's a very good point, though. Sometimes it's better not to see things too clearly. Keeps everything nice and beautiful. And I'm working through my parts right here. I love this way of working because you've got so many threads already there waiting for you. I just love parking method. And there's one more on the right here. Let me see. Yes, it is the right spot. And then one more on top. This is my dream kitchen cupboard for sure. 1, 2, 3. Here. 1, 2, 2 to the right. It's worth counting, otherwise you get very confused after that. Adri, train delay is normal, okay? You should try London Tube. It's absolutely normal. You're always a bit shocked when everything's working normally. You get used to it. But at least you can listen to us, you know? You can chat. How good is that? 3A, 5A. Suzanne says, I really don't need any more patterns, but this one is so lovely. I know no one needs more patterns. We want them, okay? That's a, it's not a need. Nothing is necessary. This is just purely flowing with what you love. Absolutely. This is a beautiful pattern though. I know. So many hidden gems everywhere. And I want to stitch them all. Oh, Natalia says, referring to the boomerang method, she says, I have noticed bulk on 28 counts too sometimes. I can imagine, yes, if you do 2 over 2, that's what I'm assuming, Natalia. 2 over 1, sorry, 2 over 1 on 28 counts. This is 25. If you can notice the bulk, yes, with the same method, I would imagine it will probably notice even more because you're having sort of 2 sets of 2 strands happening within a smaller area, if that makes any sense at all. But yes, I can imagine that. But I think, you know, ultimately it's about the accessibility of, you know, the ease of use of the pattern and also the alternative. What would be the alternative method for 10 stitches? So, you know, weighing all these things here. And also, ultimately, if you can't see it, you know, it doesn't matter. You pull these. I've ordered quite a few new hoops because I keep breaking them. I like my fabric quite tight. So I do work those screws quite hard. And some of them, the less durable ones, less, robust ones, do break at the metal attachments there. So, but through those broken hoops, I get to learn which brands to go for, which brands are stronger, more durable. But what I'm hoping is if I get more hoops, maybe I don't need to move them as frequently, because currently I need to kind of swap projects on these hoops quite frequently, so I can free up those hoops for different projects. But if I have more, which means there would be less need to move them around, maybe it will stop them from breaking. That's what I'm hoping. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think ultimately my favorite is still those good old-fashioned wooden hoops. They're quite versatile because they're very lightweight, and they come in different sizes and relatively easy to frame the fabric. So sometimes you go full circle trying everything and then come back to the original option. Let's see. 1, 2, where am I? Here. And above this one stitch there. I know where I am. Heather says it's 1 p.m. here and I have the whole afternoon to stitch or to speech. Either is good to talk. Yeah, wonderful, Heather. How amazing is that when you have like the rest of the day free or whole afternoon free? You can block up the time, just stitch in peace. That's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. And that's what we should do every day, to block off some time just to sit down, whether it's stitching or do things you love to do, and just find peace for that period of time, clear everything up in the head. It's healthy to do so. It's absolutely healthy. So you get to reset everything and you get to start again, And without that process, you just keep going and going and going until something crashes. And we all know what it looks like. One here and this one. Good. Oh, Adri, if you're standing up and you're kind of bored, what I normally do is I start stretching. I start to come on tippy toes a little bit and down and warm up my ankles. And sometimes I do a forward fold. I don't care, in a station. Sometimes raise my legs up to my head, and if you can, and I just start doing stretches. It's really good for the head, and that's what I do. The strange persons doing full body stretches on the tube. That's me. But it feels good because it gets the blood flowing, and I just need to move a lot. It's my body's habit. So I'm always amazed when I'm able to sit down and stitch for hours. This is probably the only activity I can do without being distracted. And sitting still, you know, sometimes a little bit harder to do when you're active all the time. So something to try, Adri. Do some forward folds and just let the blood flow through toward the head a little bit. Be careful though, you're on the platform. Just disclaimer there. Oh, this one's the last one, so let me remove that one. This is the only thing I would say with this method. Sometimes you don't know you're stitching the last one within that area, because normally I try to complete the color, all the stitches, and then look around to see if there are any spot to park. But there's no trouble. I just undo it quickly and then end the stitch. 3A5 7 3A5 7. Oh, Suzanne says, my friends couldn't make it yesterday. Oh, the friend is supposed to bring you fabric. She couldn't make it, so I won't be able to start my Kim or my Amy this week. Oh, it's okay. You can always stitch a different project. You know, it's quite okay. 1, 2. And you know, and join, you know, come join in when you can. There's no deadline, there's no, you know, stitches, number of stitches to hit. We're just getting together and enjoy stitching together. That's it. No pressure. You can see that this block is getting filled up. I'm gonna restitch this one. I think a little bit. Oh, I know what's happening. I stitch in the wrong place, so I'm going to just do this one as well. I'm trying to cheat. No one will know. 2 here. And down here. 1 on the right. And Heather, I got that. I got that. Susan says, charts are like books, always room for 1 or 2 or 3 or more. Absolutely. I love that analogy. Yes. No one's complaining about having too many books, being too knowledgeable, you know. I'm just getting too smart. I have to stop that. No one will say that. You just read more books. Yes, and stitch more projects. Why not? Absolutely. And lovely. See, one single block, first block is almost completed. A few more stitches to go. Super fast. And let me do that one as well. I missed that one. Oh, I love the way it stitches. So velvety. And I'm going to pop down here. Left, second to the left. Let me quickly mark my stitches before I forget. Suzanne asks, is anyone doing patterns from stitches? So beautiful on Etsy. Oh, that sounds interesting. Oh my God, Susan says, I don't think you know your own strength. Been stitching since 1993. I haven't broken one hoop. You serious? Really? So, do you like your fabric really tight? Have I, have I been screwing too tight? I've got my screwdrivers like this, okay? I've got it ready with me all the time. And yeah, I just turn them until it's secure because what I don't want is I spend so much effort tightening the fabric and then not screwing tight enough and it starts to get loosened as I stitch the piece. So have I overdone it? Am I the Arnold Schwarzenegger of the stitching world? Oh my God. Yeah, for most people, hoops are probably not consumables, but not in this case. I do break them. I do break them. Because the attachments around the hoops, they're not always that strong. Let me show you the one I've broken, okay? Hang on. Bear with me, guys. So there are a couple of scenarios. One, okay, it's rather shocking. Might as well show you. It's hilarious. Let me remove this here and zoom out a little bit to show you. So scenario one, the two types of situation my hoops break. One is this. This looks quite durable, but as I was tightening, let me just move this away for a little bit. As I was tightening here, what happens is the metal attachment here just came off. So they start to weaken. Let me see if I can zoom in here a little bit more here. Hello. Okay, so you can see that the whole attachment just came loose and I can't screw it back because the back is kind of split open as well. My superhuman Hulk strength. So that's broken. And that's scenario one. A second one, literally the whole screw just came off. The first part just came off. This one is still attached. My suspicion is maybe this one, maybe I hadn't used it for a while, could be. So it's a bit rusty and the screw kind of just, I don't know, attached to the back bit. It's very disturbing. So that's broken too. And sometimes the scenario three would be the screws themselves just kind of, you know, the circly bits just got worn off, and they just stop tightening. That's it. That's a shocker to everybody. It's like, what is Yogi doing with the hoops? Surely that consists of some sort of hoop abuse situation. Maybe we need to report Yogi to the authorities. Please don't do that. You know, I don't want to be taken away. Yesterday we were talking about being locked up in prison, not being able to stitch anymore. That's tragic. You know, there's one thing, not being able to have any freedom to go anywhere, but not being able to stitch is just tragic. Oh, hello, Joyce. Joyce. Joy is probably holding her breath there, thinking, what is going on? Why is Yogi breaking accessories? There's no tomorrow. I know. And but it's true. It's true. It's happening. That is done. Since 1993. Oh my God, Brittany says I was 5 in 1993. Jesus. Suzanne says, I like mine really tight as well. I also use a screwdriver to tighten them. Have you broken any one of them? Am I the weird one? Am I the Arnold Schwarzenegger of the stitching world? And Suzanne says, perhaps I don't have my fabric as tight as yours, honey. I know. It's all that yoga practice, you see. Like inner strength. I can't help it. 3A, 30. 3A, 30. Don't judge me, guys. Don't judge me. I have strengths. I can't hold it back. A 30. Oh, Brittany says I have good tight hoops. I get good results with Nudge square ones. I haven't tried their square ones. Are they plastic? Because I managed to break one of the Nudge ones as well. Nudge ones, I think they're very strong. The only weakness is on the screws themselves. I don't know why sometimes they get stuck. And when they do, and you try to twist it, you could wear the screw off, which I have. But generally, the attachment, the metal bit attached to the hoops, they're quite strong. Very, very thick metal. So I've ordered probably about 6, some of them different brands, and I'll give you my verdict on them. There are a couple of them from Nudge, which I know they're nice and strong. But there are a couple of brands that I haven't bought from before, and I'll let you know my verdict. See if I can manage to break them within 2 weeks. Who knows? Let me bring this one over here. 1, 2, 1, 2. This one below. So I'm parking to the right with this color. Oh, Suzanne says, yeah, I've broken at least 2. There you go. It's not just me. Now I'm feeling a little bit normal and validated. I'm not a freak, okay? I'm not green. Let's have a sip of my water here. I'm getting all sweaty. All the power stitching. Suzanne says, my new stand should be here next week, and I'll go back to using scroll frames, I think. Oh, nice. A new stand. How lovely. I quite like the idea of frames because they seem to be able to provide really good tension, but it's just it's not practical for me because I have so many ongoing webs, and it's not possible for me to get enough frames for each project, and I don't like the idea of having to swap them like daily basis. It just doesn't sound like fun to me. 301. 301. Only 3 stitches here. Joy says, why do you keep breaking your hoops? I know, Joyce. I know. Don't judge me. I like my fabric really tight, like this, really, really tight. And I want the frames and the hoops to maintain the tension. So I tend to screw the screw a little bit tighter, maybe more than necessary. I know. But, you know, I don't like the idea of, you know, fabric getting loose as I'm stitching. So, you know, I just want to make sure that it holds the tension. But now I'm getting more hoops. Maybe I don't need to swap them as frequently. So maybe I'll braid them a little bit less, you know. One can hope. I know. It's all very shocking, Joyce, I know. I'm so sorry to inflict this on you. It is a beautiful Sunday. So this one's the last one. To be honest, it's so snuggly right now. I might just do a tent without any ending message. It will stay there without going anywhere. There. Nice. Hey, Apple is here as well. Apple is joining us for the sweet shop. Stitch along the new start next Saturday. It's official. There are 5 of us. I think 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, and Gritty is joining us as well, aren't you? She hasn't confirmed, but I think she shall. What do you think, guys? So there's 6 of us. 6 of us starting a new piece together. Amazing. Oh, Suzanne says, I switch out my projects on square frames. It goes pretty fast, does it? And also, how do you manage the width of the fabric? Because it depends on the width of your frames. I always wonder, you know, doing large projects like we do, how do you keep the size? Do you tuck them in? Because it's not really possible to get full width of frames to fit the width of the fabric, if that makes sense. There. Almost done. Few more stitches here. There are single stitches. Brittany says, I think the Nudge square hoops also fit into the corner clamps for the Lari. Okay, yeah, I've got that as well. But I haven't got mine out yet to try it. Okay, is it the wooden one or is it the plastic one you've got there? Because the square one, I've only got one brand. I can't remember what brand that was. I find the corners are tucked in tightly, but the sides, some very easy to have gaps. Maybe it's just the quality of the hoops I got, but I wasn't too impressed. And then they break the. I break the plastic ones as well. Sorry, guys. 434. 434. But this is a good test, isn't it? Anything that Yogi cannot break is a good product when it comes to hoops. So, you know, you can take my words. If I'm still using it, then it's a good sign, it's a good product. Joy, so you meant, why do I keep the broken ones? I don't know, I feel guilty throwing them away, and there's some really faint hope in my mind that maybe I can find a way to fix them. You know what I mean? Maybe if I come up with something clever, I might be able to revive them, bring them back from the other side. I don't know. Or maybe I'll throw them away at some point because I've just broken them very recently. So I haven't come to terms with the passing of these hoops. I will. Give me some time. I just need some time to mourn the loss. And maybe I will find a way to allow them to rest in peace permanently. But until then, you know, I'm going to keep them by my side until I'm ready. And 3, 4, 3. 3, 4, 3. No, that can't be right. 3, 4, 3, 4. Sorry, 4, 3, 4. Great, you say. Just admit it now. You keep drumming with the stitches. You mean like this? Isn't that the test? Look, that's so lovely. I love it. When the tension is good, the stitching is just amazing. This one's done. I've seen floss tubers having the fabric as they stitch, they go up and down. Oh, I just start to, you know, scratch my head and scream from the inside. Say, please tighten your fabric, darling, please do it. Do it. You know you can. 920, 920. Oh, I do have one part already. Right here. Hoop CPR, yes! Yes, I have not learned a technique. I'm hoping someone somewhere might be able to teach me how to do that, to revive my hoops. Because I feel guilty. CPR. Oh, I can't, Joyce. So this one's a little bit tight, but I'll manage. Just one stitch here. And then well, I'm going to do a yogi move by tucking, doing a pin to the side to take it away from the stitch area. So I can take it to another location. Without taking the thread over the stitch area too much. It's my move, okay? You can have the move. You can have it. Okay. Let me see. Why don't I move this down? Just park it where is the nearest. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 5. There. Lovely. It's filling up the first block in no time. No time. Suzanne says, Yogi, you need to move on. I think we need background music for this one. Those hoops have gone to hoop heaven. I know, Susan. I know. I just need some time, you know. Just a little bit time to come to terms with it. I hope they're in a better place now. Happy, being hoop. Without being pulled too tight, screwed too tight. In their next life, I know. Three A62. 3A62. 3A62. Yeah, you see, my organizer is so messy here. I'm too afraid to show because Joyce is gonna have a little fit there. So but this is the stage of the situation with my organizer here. It's just the way it is. Maria says, hi, Yogi. Welcome, Maria. Hope you're well. Say hello to Maria. And, oh, River is here as well. River, welcome. Nice to see you. River is here. Grady says, loose fabric in the frame. It's like having pants. They're sagging down. Saggy pants. It may be a thing for some people. You never know. Let's not judge. Saggy pants. Yeah, it feels a bit like that. It feels like, oh, you're just not doing properly, are you? But some people might like that. It depends. Some people like saggy pants, you know. But I don't. I like skinny pants. As tight as possible. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And 4. Lovely. Jan is here as well. Jan Creations. She says, hi, everyone. Hello to Jan. And Apple is here as well. Hello, Apple. And oh, Susan says, no screwdrivers in Hoop Heaven. I hope so. So no more pain can be inflicted on them by Yogi. I hope so. I hope they find a peaceful place and they're able to find peace in their heart to forgive me for what I did to them. You know, it's not intentional. I just don't like saggy pants, you know? 921. 921. Here. After the hoops, I can take it, Joyce. I know the shock has been inflicted, so Joyce is unshockable now. One here. I'm just thinking how full these stitches are, half stitches, just on 25. I'm trying to imagine what it will be like when I'm stitching 28 counts. Half stitches. I'm going to use DMC though, so I don't know whether it makes any difference when I start a new piece on Saturday. Ooh, I'm nervous. I'm very nervous. So I imagine it will be fuller. I think a couple of guys are using DMC. I believe Nikki is going to be using DMC for her piece. And so it's going to be very, very full. Ria is here as well. Hello, Ria. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. River says, I love those colors. Wow. Yeah, I know. It's like the waterfall, a stream of beautiful browns here. It's very autumn. The color scheme's very autumn. And kind of, I imagine this is a night shot. This is, the lighting is kind of in the nighttime. It's just the richness and fullness of everything. Oh, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for the beautiful artwork. Cairo, machete, you pick one. And the last stitch in this block. Amazing. 922. 922. Oh, this is the color I don't have on my CXC set just yet. Amazing. I need to dig out the color. 922. Let me see if I have it ready here. If not, I'll leave that stitch till later. Because I've got some 922. I've got a system here, kind of a system. So previously, whoops, let me just move it away a little bit, zoom out. Just wanted to show you this. So previously, when I started to organize my CXC floss, I took out a portion at a time and to have them on my organizer here, and it's pretty full, right? I put a lot with each. Some people only place like a couple pieces, 3 pieces. I just put a whole lot, but still there are a lot of leftovers throughout the process, so I kind of put them. I know it's a lot of plastic, but I do use them, reuse them over and over again. But I learned from someone that you could buy those little containers, little bags with a punch hole on top, and just loop them around to keep them leftover threads. So that's what I've been doing. So I'm trying to see if I have a 922. Hopefully I do. It's a brown 922. I have 920 here. And see if I have it. 922. Oh yes, I've got it. 922. So I've got some left over here. So what I'm going to do is to take the remaining part out and to place it on my organizer, because currently it doesn't have it. And that's what I'm going to do. So that's my current system right now, but hopefully once I transition all the floss onto my organizers, it's getting fuller, I won't need the backup, the storage part anymore. So it's an evolution of methods, kind of all roll into one over each other. So 922 here, just take the whole lot out. And I think the length might be okay. Maybe I cut in half. So normally it's kind of the length of from the tip of my middle finger somewhere up to my forearm. So that's kind of my comfort length. So this is perfect. Let me just cut them in half. So instead of kitting up the whole thing, all the colors together, when I start a new piece, I prefer just building it up as I go, because my master sets, they have majority of the colors. So instead of spending entire day organizing, I prefer just to add as I go, within reason. If there are many colors that I have to start and stop, maybe I will go through the list. But with heaven and earth, a lot of crossover colors, no problem at all. Sarah is having a piece of cake on her own. She would like to share, but she's really just showing off. She's telling you that I have a piece of cake you don't, you know? It's a bit like that, is it, Sarah? I thought we were friends. So Sarah is secretly enjoying, or not so secretly enjoying her piece of cake. 922 is really just one stitch. One stitch. So let me pick up one thread there. Ria says, I stitched 28 count half cross, Beauty and the Beast, because of the mixed colors. Lovely. Is it from Hate? Is it for Heaven and Earth? I'm sure other designers, there exists as well, but a lot of us kind of ended up living in the Hate world. And I'm always surprised to find other chart designers. Just one stitch here. And downwards. Let's go. Maria saying hello to everyone. There. First block completed. Yay. 922. You know, I managed to stitch one block without breaking anything. No hoops or needles were hurt during the process. There we go. So what I'm going to do, I think, I am going to complete this block next to it. There are a couple of stitches, only 2 left. So I am going to just do those, just for the sense of completion there, and then decide where to go next. Just 2 stitches here. Susan says, friendship doesn't survive one piece of cake. I know, it runs very thin, you know. They have a piece of cake, they don't share it with you. They just flash it in your face. It's like, oh, I really love to share, but I can't, you know. You know how it goes. There's some people go, oh, I love to help, but I don't want to, you know. One, 2, 3. There. Done. Just to complete the block next to it. And let me have a quick look. I think I want to move to the side rather than downwards. I just fancy stitching a little bit of this little kind of metal copper pot here on the shelf there. That's looking really lovely. Oh, Ria says this from Etsy. It's allowed. It's allowed. It doesn't have to be hate. Yeah, Etsy's got a lot of hidden gems as well. I've got quite a few patterns, not full coverage, but samplers. Oh, there's some really cute sampler type patterns up there. And start from this one, 3858. I'm much happier working block by block. I think last session I was a bit lost. doing mini cross country. Move over here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Sexy is so full. And one more here. There. Let me see, where do I park? I'm going to take it up because it's mostly unstitched, so I don't mind. I'm taking from the bottom left here and to the next block on top left here. Oh, there's already one part already. What do? I don't want to end it. Let me take it over here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I think when it comes to parking, it's always the balance between having that convenience, having the thread waiting for you in the next stop, but also this consideration of taking the thread too far, end up building up a lot of bulk underneath. And it's not just the look of the bulk, because we probably not going to look at the back that frequently, but it's that stitching experience. When it's building up too much, it makes stitching a little bit less enjoyable for me anyway, because we're using round needles, round tip needles, and I don't like the idea of stabbing through, the fabric just to get the needle through. So I'm trying to keep the back as light as I can within reason. Suzanne says, I've been looking at the patterns for stitches. So beautiful on Etsy. Oh, it's the name of the pattern, is it? If you're eyeing it so much, you should get it, I think. It's your heart telling you you want it. So this one is, I might need to end it. So I'm going to do a boomerang here quickly and pull gently. Lovely. See how fast I can do it now? Yeah. Practice makes perfect. 3, 7, 2, 2. Oh, it's the name of the designer. Oh, and by the way, I'm having my regular mint tea. I'm taking a sip. Totally forgot about it. And Grace is here. Hello. Hello, Grace. And she says, hi, everyone. Wonderful mint tea there. Next one. Oh, there's one I missed at the bottom here. Just 2 stitches. River says, dang, now I want cake. I know. What is Sarah doing, really? Now everybody wants cake. Susan says, Suzanne, if you want to be enabled, you're coming to the right group. There you go. Our job is done. We're here to enable each other, okay? That's the goal of the group. There was a little disclaimer and terms and condition as you sub. When you hit the sub button, it doesn't show it to you, but it secretly says that yeah, you'll be buying a lot of new patterns. You're gonna end up with, you're gonna multiply the number of whips, and if you agree, hit sub. And you guys didn't know, did you? Because it's a secret. And moving up. Suzanne knows. She's been here for a little while. Suzanne, I don't think you need to work very hard in this group. I think everyone's ready. One and two over here. It's all about stitching for the present moment, isn't it? Because when we go, oh, maybe we don't need another pattern. I mean, depends on what you mean by that. Does that mean that you have enough projects to work on? But this is not about that, is it? It's about working with beautiful design and working, enjoy every stitch. So it doesn't matter how many you've got, how many webs you've got there. If you enjoy every single stitch, then that's the experience we're looking for. Completion is a slightly different thing. Ria is going to sleep 11 p.m. in Germany. So you're in the same location as Adri? Adri is still here, right? Adri is still waiting for her train, probably. Night night, Ria. See you soon. Have a lovely sleep. So Germany's 1 hour ahead of me here in London. Moving down here. Steve, hello. Salutation. I hope you're well. One, two. Susan says, the first week watching Yogi's videos, I bought 2 patterns. There you go. There you go. I know. Why wait? Why wait? What are we waiting for? It's a beautiful, beautiful color, this. One more. Oh, Susan, you're in white stitches zone. Yes, white is hard. I find it quite hard. Anything white or very pale, because the color is so close to the fabric, and also my eyes just start to get a little bit fatigued after a while. Yes, you're not alone. White is challenging. I mean, I get the same if I stitch dark colors. I think, if I have to stitch kind of similar colors for a while, my eyes get fatigued anyway. So that's why I always try to sort of move around a little bit. But yeah, white is challenging. One. And there's one underneath. I'm just trying to find a correct location to part my needle here. Can be a bit tricky when you have like 20 bark threads on the block. It's not always easy. Apple says Yogi wears the Stitchy Enabler crown for sure. It takes one to know one, the fact that you're here, you're ready, you're ready. You're ready for more patterns and more webs. And also, if you think back, any new patterns you have that you decide to get on top of what you have you ever felt like you regretted your choice? And I would say probably not, right? You just have more to choose from, and maybe the completion date, if you have anything, sense of goals, yeah, it might take a bit longer, but you get to enjoy more pieces. I mean, you can't say no to that, can you? I never regretted a single piece that I've got. I always felt really, really happy that I did it. I didn't just wait around. So I'm going to take this one over. Oh, there's one already. So in that case, I'm going to end it. And I'm going to just bring this one up a little bit to thread through. That's another way of doing it, rather than undoing the whole stitch. And down there. 3A62. Gray says, I have one pattern. Since watching your channel, my whips have gone to 6 in less than a month. Okay, Grace is the winner here. Anyone can top her. From 1 to 6. Amazing. You've done well, my dear. And and she says, I'm trying so hard to look the other way on your new webs. You're starting next week. Oh, it's a beautiful piece. It's a beautiful piece. If you don't know what we're talking about, now I have a very good excuse to show you what we're talking about. So from next Saturday onwards, every Saturday will be Amy Stewart Day. So you will be a stitch along with Amy Stewart's pieces, which is vast. Her library, her catalog is vast. So most of us probably have at least one piece from her. Just bring those projects along and let's stitch together. But there are about maybe 5 of us at this point. We're going to come do a new start of her work. And are you ready? This piece. Ta-da! Yes! This piece is called Sweet Shop. Shop with double P and E. I think maybe French. I don't know. And we're going to do a new start together live. We're going to make the first stitch together on a live stream Saturday, this coming Saturday. And for those of you, if there are more sort of, brave people out there, Arnold Schwarzenegger of Stitching World, you're welcome to join us. And this piece you can get from Heaven and Earth Design. It's called Sweet Shop, and it comes with regular a regular pattern, regular colors, which is this piece. This one does not have regular max colors. I would have got that one, but I got the regular colors and regular size. There are a couple of the guys in the chat, they're getting super size max colors. Okay, if you think I'm mad, I just look to them. I look relatively normal, but we're going to start together, and so you still have time to get your fabric, your pattern, and your floss ready by Saturday. Okay, so it's up to you. You know what to do. Okay, there, back to regular broadcast, regular streaming. And Steve says, yes, doing okay, just surviving the relentless humidity here. Oh dear, I know. By staying inside. Stitching. Okay, so what have you been stitching? So are you working on your beautiful samplers, or have you worked on this grey sky, the acres of grey sky of your castle piece? So Steve is, venturing into the full coverage stitching, coming from more sampler type of stitching, which is probably everybody coming from those type of patterns. We've done samplers, but Steve stitching is beautiful. So look up his Instagram and enjoy his work. But he's venturing into full coverage, so he's got one piece going, which has a lot of plain sky. We were just talking about stitching a lot of pale colors on a piece. That's where Steve is right now. So send your love and best wishes to Steve. He needs it. It's not easy unless you're willing to jump forward and go to another part of the design. Yes, gritty. Yes, exactly. If a pattern starting to keep haunting you, that's a sign. Because sometimes the patterns I bought, I'm happily just keep them in my folder for the time being. But when the time is right, it will start to come and haunt you. And you know it's ready. So follow the heart. Follow the haunting voice. The voices that's calling you to stitch the piece. Surrender. So from here, let's miss a few stitches scattering around here. Brittany says, I missed out on patterns in the past because I couldn't justify buying another pattern. I'll never do that again. Lesson learned. If you want to buy it, yes, Brittany. Yes, particularly, Heaven and Earth, they do discount days quite frequently. Just have them safely in your folder. And the time will come, you will know when is a good time. Like now is a good time to stitch sweet shops, Yes. Just think about how beautiful the pattern is and how much fun stitching that piece. Oh, I can't wait. The Saturday cannot come any sooner. And if you're not doing the salt, you can always it's an Amy day anyway, so there's no particular piece you have to do. Just pick one Amy Stewart piece and come along for the ride. One more here. Going to move to the left. Even within the 10 by 10 block, a lot of time, concentration is required. Just make sure the stitching in a right spot. So imagine if I have to expand to 10 by 10 area, I'll be a little bit lost. Let me see. Already? 1, 2, 3. Oh, never mind. I missed one stitch here. Oh, no, I haven't. No, I'm good. And should I park it? It's already. I think I'm going to end it just to reduce the number of park threads, because there's already one that's parked in the next block, so I don't want to add to that. Do a boomerang. And here we go. Oh, Steve is sticking with the full coverage, working on a section of castle that came into view. How amazing. Now that's your reward. Change of the scenery. 3857. Yeah, I think a lot of pieces, they're absolutely beautiful, but they have like acres of sky, the background colors, ceilings, whatever. So, you know, you have to think about that when you choose your patterns. 3857. Love these colors. So beautiful. It's way more fun than the sky. Yes. I get it. I get it. John says, I just did my first 213 stitches on my new start, regular size love letters. Oh, beautiful piece. So you're doing a regular size. Beautiful. Definitely post it on the group. I love to see. I love to see it. Yes, I think that piece I'm doing on the mini. I'm doing the mini version, which is still absolutely beautiful. But I can totally see that one being really gorgeous, regular size as well. Amazing. And what fabric count are you doing it on? One more here. Beautiful. 1, 2, 3. Lovely. Gretty says the pattern is not finished. Can the grandchildren continue stitching? Yes. That's why people having children or grandchildren, right? So they can finish what you haven't finished. Yes, definitely pass them on. Teach them how to stitch from young age. See if they will last. 1, 2. Okay. A14. I need to double check this color. I'm not sure. It looks right. Let's have a look. A14. It's always good to double check. Oh, it's actually correct. The swatch looks a little bit more brown than burgundy. There's actually a bit more red in it. It is correct. Joy says, I've got a few Amy Stewart whips and a few not started. Okay, still have to choose. I'm yearning for some bright colors. Oh, you know which one has bright colors? Let me show you one piece, okay, Joyce? Just in case you blinked from the last demonstration. Wait, not this one. Full view, full view. There. You want bright colors? Just look at this piece, okay? You know, if you want fun and colors, this is the one to go for. Oh, I need to stop looking at it because I might want to cheat. Not that I have the fabric just yet, but there you go. Dante says, hi all. Been stitching along quietly, but now I have to see if I can fix this hole in my second project. Wish me luck. A hole in your second project? Are you talking about literal hole or two? Take it down here. All these colors are kind of scattered around within the block. And there's a judgment call you have to make on where to take your thread, which direction, what order. It's fun. Let me bring out my little mock-up there. And another one. Just a few more on top. Trying to follow the chat. Jan says, I've seen that pattern with Komari. You mean Komari, the channel? Yes. She's doing a flower girl or something like that. I've been sort of dip in and out of her videos. She's on a mission to complete it really fast, I think. She's been stitching crazy number of stitches every day. I don't know how she does it, but she's doing it. And this one, I think I'm going to park if I can. Maybe I'll bring it down here. First below. Oh, Steve says just don't start in the top corner of Switch Shop. Do you think? Let's have a look. What's on? I think it's just curtain. It's a velvety curtain, right? It's the same as the left. Yeah, I'm quite looking forward to stitching some of these sort of purple velvety bits and the tassels. It would take a while before I get down to the kind of stripy area, the background there. But hey, Janelle's here. Well done, you made it. Janelle is from Australia, so it's morning of the following day. It's Monday over there already. Happy Monday. Dante says, yes, the fabric has a hole in it. What? What are we talking about here? Not just the standard ones. It's supposed to have, oh my God, it's got holes as in ripped. Goodness. Joyce. I think Greta is trying to apply very subtle peer pressure there, you know, to Joyce. Good girls. You're doing a great job enabling. I'm so proud of you. Yeah, John says one day she said she was stitching from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Oh goodness, we're talking about this lady called Komari. She's from Japan. And there's some very lovely and unique stitchers from Japan, and they're so friendly. They support each other on their streams. And this lady, who might be the fastest stitcher I ever seen. I would like to see someone stitching faster than her. I don't think they're around. She's completed multiple full coverage pieces. She's got videos kind of showing them around. I'm taking a sip of my peppermint tea, just thinking about how fast she's stitching. I'm sweating. Yes, she is so fast. She is so fast. She's not kidding around, you know. She's stitching. But how do you find the concentration? Even your hands are able after those numbers, because the past few days, I think she stopped doing that, but past few days, there were multiple days she was stitching 3,000 a day. That's the daily goal. My goal is 300, and I hit that about twice a month, okay? And she's stitching 3,000 for multiple days. That is not normal, guys. 3371. Three, 371. My head's spinning just thinking about it. Some stitches are made differently than others. But she's so focused as well. She's able to focus on one single piece for months or years. She stitched, I think that was from Amy Stewart as well, really popular one, is this Stitch in Time. I think that one was the last finished piece that I can recall. And man, she was single-mindedly stitching that piece for like 3 years or something like that. 2.5, 3 years. I don't know how she does it. I truly do not know. And I think it was a max super size as well, just in case regular size is not big enough. Super size. Brittany says, I have ADHD, so sitting still so long is my strong suit. I'm lucky if I get 100 stitches in before I have to get up again. That is amazing, 100 stitches. To be honest, I amaze myself, the ability that I newfound ability to sit down for 3 hours at a time stitching. But then I get this, I have a bit of distraction kind of talking to you, right? So, but if I was sitting here on my own and not streaming, then I get distracted every 15 minutes. I'll, get up and do a bit of this and that and the other and come back and stitch. I rarely just sit through more than maybe half an hour and just stitch, because my mind can get distracted quite easily. And so yeah, I get it. I get it. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So I think, like when people stitch together, you have more sort of reason to stay in one place and maybe engage in chat or watch something. Otherwise, most people will probably get, distracted with or without ADHD. 4, 3, 4. John says, yes, that's the one she finished. It was huge. Yes, it was super size. And I literally followed her through. It was during COVID, and that's when I found her. And I was just fascinated by the way she stitched and also the speed of it and the focus. I mean, she's Olympic level stitcher. I don't think there's another person I've seen a stitch like that. She may be one of everyone. And she's finished. Not all of them are supersized, but she's got maybe no less than 15 full coverage pieces that she has finished throughout the years. And I think it's only possible because the way she stitches is just crazy. The pure speed of it. And I think a lot of times when she streams, she talks as well. She does talk to the chat. So she has to have the capacity to, you know, do other things at the same time, and she managed. She's special. Imagine if you're a new stitcher and you come across her, you know, in the beginning of your, you know, stitching discovery, and you actually see, you think that's normal, and try to do the same and can't. You'll probably just give up. Just give up and go, well, you know, it's not for me because I can't do 3,000 a day. It's just not for me. And let me take this one over. 1, 2, 3. One, two, three. River says, every time I get in the zone, my bird flies over and think, oh yeah, River has a pet bird. She flies over and thinks I have to stop everything and snuggle with him. He watches and waits and bam. Well, my cat, Dolly, does the same. Every time I sit down to stream, she would just snug up and go, well, it's time for me, isn't it, Mummy? Whereas normally if I go to her and say, hey, can Mummy have a hug? And she would just, you know, either just looks uninterested or she's just busy going to the garden and stuff. They're like that. They know they have you in the palm of their hands, or little claws with a little bird. 918. I know it's very easy to be distracted if there isn't something to anchor you there. Very easy. Hey, Carla is here. Carla says, hi, Yogi and everyone. Say hello to Carla. Welcome. I think Carla is from Portugal, if I remember correctly. See, I'm starting to get to know everyone. A second blog, full blog. It's almost completed. Yay! A few more stitches to go. You see, the fabric is starting to get, well, not quite loose yet, but you can feel a little bit more bounce comparing to the beginning. And that's why I always try to tighten it a little bit tighter, but then I break them, okay? Send them to hoop heaven for the endless buffet they're offering there. The buffet that never stops. They probably have cakes too. Two more here. This one over here. Oh, it's lovely. It feels so good when you complete a block. And that's the beauty of doing block by block, because you get to that milestone a little bit faster. With 2 blocks, it's double the time, isn't it? If you're looking for that instant, you know, sort of feedback, a sense of completion, block by block is nice. It's just right. And let me take it over there. Second, from right 1, 2 here. Joyce, don't judge me. Oh, serial hoop killer. Yes, that's me. That is me. I don't want him to die. I really don't. And just one stitch here. 3, 7, 7, 6. One stitch. But then again, I've just been sort of, destroying those hoops fairly recently. I think it's because just the frequency of the fact I'm changing them more frequently. So I think by having more of them will probably help with the situation, because I'll need to kind of bother them as frequently. I'm hoping anyway. And I'm also trying out a couple of different brands to see which one is more durable, which one will last a little bit longer. 3, 7, 7, 6. River's working on elegance in the park. Oh, 87. 87, that's very close to 90%. Amazing, River. Grace says, I love the Nudge hoops. I do too. But I think, do you not find the screws get, maybe they're copper, made in copper, I think, something like that, or coated. They get rusty easily or something. Something happens to the coating and they get a bit kind of stuck when you try to screw the screws. That's why they actually sell replacement screws. So there is a weakness of the hoops they're aware of. So I'm getting 3 of them, hoping that I can revive maybe a couple of them that I've broken. I don't know if that's possible. But also having backups if I ever break them the screws again. Because the attachment, the metal part of it, on the metal attachment on the hoops, they're quite strong. They're not going anywhere. But it's the screws themselves. I think there's some issues there when it comes to Hercules like me, the Arnold of the stitching world. Maybe they should get someone like me to test their products. If I can use it for 3 months without breaking it, then that's a good product. That's strong enough. John says, I'm doing a 3 by 3 squares. Hopefully I can do half of it at least. I love a nudge hoops. I hope I don't kill them. Have mercy, John. Have mercy. Don't do like I did. Learn from my mistakes. Do not have super strength. And maybe practice yoga a little bit less frequent, so you don't end up with this inner power that's just coming out uncontrollably and destroy embroidery accessories. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4 at the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, yes. And I am going to park it. Trying to think, shall I park it to the right? There's one stitch there. Yes, let's do that. It's probably the block I would like to do next. 1, 2, 3, there. Oh, Joyce. Joyce says finish another page. Only one more full page till the end, till completion. That's amazing. So Joyce is working on a piece for her grandchild, the future grandchild. It's arriving to the world in October, I think. And she's got a final page to go. My goodness. That's amazing. Very good, very good. 919. You know, I think when you have a sort of main piece you're aiming to complete at some point, you know, you have a kind of a goal and deadline in your mind. I think it's actually probably healthier to have other pieces to distract you from time to time. You know, I kind of equate that to having sorbets between courses, palate cleansers, and it resets everything. So when you come back to your main piece, you appreciate it more because you're refreshed. And also you don't feel resentful that you have to just chase after the goal, which is nothing wrong with that if you have it. It's all about a bit of a balance, isn't it? The mind sometimes needs a little bit of a distraction to stay healthy and balanced. So, you know, just doing one thing may not be the best solution for everyone, unless you're Kamari, then you're a different kind of human being. I know I'm not. I need healthy distraction from time to time. Oh my goodness, Bicamry, where have you been? Darling, seriously, you're well? I hope you're well. Yes, Bicamry might be one of the youngest chatters, people to come on the chat. I think Brittany is quite young as well. Bicamry is 19, right? So you could be the winner. I think 19-year-olds are allowed to come on YouTube. There's nothing controversial here, you know, in the stitching channel. And oh, I see, Joyce. 1 full page and 7 partial pages. I get it. Because minis like that as well. There's some, you know, just little bits at the bottom or on the right there. Oh, final 4 pages. See, 1 more stitch here and this block is done. How amazing. 1, 2, 3. I think this one is... I may have missed this one. I do have a thread here. Let me just quickly make that final stitch of that block. I finished 2 blocks already. My goodness. Am I turning into Komari? No. Okay. That's a firm no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There. Oh, so good. Look at this. So pretty. I might just keep moving to the right, actually. It's feeling good. feeling good. It's flowing. I haven't made too many mistakes yet. Let's have a look. Why do I have these ones but not marked? What is happening here? Oh, they belong to the next block. That's why. Oh, the third block, everyone. This is so not like me. Normally, I'll start to slow down at this point. And oh yes, Joy says, well, we have Kim Day, that's true, and soon Amy Day for resetting. Yes, I designed this system solely for you, Joyce, just in case you get fatigue, you know. We want a piece to be finished, but we want Joyce to be happy. So this is my cunning plan to get Joyce to stitch something else in the meantime as well. Camry says, yes, I'm doing good. Life just got a little bit crazy. I bet. Yes. Life for a 19-year-old can be a little bit crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. A little bit of manners is probably good sometimes. You know, you don't want your life to be too boring. Within reason. One, two, three. Oh, Jan says another that stitches fast is Stitchery Lover. Is it a lady that I don't know where she is? I think she does like stitch with me with music. I think probably that's why I haven't watched her much, because her stitching is beautiful. But I do have a sort of thing with background music. I don't like it. And I know I can just switch this music off, but then I like to listen to the sound of the fabric otherwise. So either speech or just the sound of the fabric. But is she fast though? I've never seen her stitching live, so I don't know. But her work is beautiful, yes, if I recall. Oh, if we're talking about the same lady, I don't know. Actually, she's the one that has the love letters, one on other beautiful patterns that I'm always tempted to start, but try not to be bad. Okay, yeah, she does. I think we may be talking about the same lady. Yes, I do remember there's one floss tuber that's doing love letter. But it's hard to tell because unless you stitch live or real time recording, it's hard to tell if someone is stitching fast. Oh, I just did a full cross. Jeez. Got distracted. Just did I could have just left it. I'm sure you couldn't tell. I supposed to take the threads down, tuck it in. Instead, I just did a full cross. There. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. 4, 3, 4. Let's have a look. Let me take a sip of my tea here. Remember to mark it. Three A 63. 3A63. Oh dear. A little bit of a cat fight happening outside. Don't know whether you can hear it. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 2 here. And then I'm going to pop down. It's quite short, but I'm gonna just leave it. And I think I'm going to pop down actually. It's a bit more straightforward. Jan says, you're correct. She's the one I'm talking about too. And I agree. I wish she just did stitching without the music on the background too. So we're talking about the same lady, but she didn't strike me as a fast stitcher. I mean, her stitching's beautiful, really methodical, I think, from what I can recall. But I didn't get the impression that she's stitching 3,000 a day. But then who is? But yes, I wish she just, she doesn't have to talk if she doesn't want to talk, but just with background sound rather than the music. Because in my mind, I have trouble with any kind of background music because I feel unless the music is there for a purpose, like a music sound, sort of soundtrack from the movie, they're functional, they're creating certain atmosphere. I don't like it when it's just a filler, just feeling the silence, because I just feel like it's a bit of it feels like junk sound, if you know what I mean. Like, it's not really there for a purpose, but just to disguise that there is no sound. That I don't like. So, so I prefer like stitching masterpieces, for instance. She just leave the background sound on, and you can hear the sound of the fabric. But I do hope that she would zoom in a little bit more, because I always want to see more of the stitches, like closer, a little bit closer would be nice. So let me tease that off a little bit so I can thread through, because this is the last stitch of this color here. Didn't realize that. Whoops. Oh, this is what I'm talking about. Sometimes it kind of just, the thread kind of slips through under the corner. I don't know. It's just the position. So sometimes if I tug, maybe I'm tugging too hard. Let me just restitch it. Oh, again. Joyce, what is happening here? Do you know? Why is this happening sometimes? Never mind. Let me just stitch again because otherwise it's going to get a little bit messy. Sometimes the half cross just gets slipped through to the left and turn vertical. And it doesn't happen that often, but it has happened a few times. Let me see if I can stitch the other way. If I bring the needle up the other way and do an opposite boomerang. Is there a name for it? Reverse boomerang. And then bring the needle to the upper right instead. That's one big fast stitch. One big fast stitch there. It would disappear off. You won't see it, okay? Once it's all stitched. 3722. Let me see. 3722. Oh, Joyce says slipping stitches can happen in even weave. Yes, but it's a little bit random because sometimes it's perfectly okay. Is it just the orientation of where the threads meet each other, whether it's vertical, horizontal? I don't know, it's a bit random. Most of the times, probably it happens once out of 10 times, something like that. Kind of in random situation, it would do a slip. John says, yes, I love stitching masterpieces too. I want to buy some of her pattern. Yeah, she's a pattern creator as well. On Etsy. She's got a shop on Etsy. But John says, I'm scared of the blend colors. But I love to look at it. But you know, do you mean confetti? Because her pieces are very sort of epic looking. A lot of landscape, which is not something that I'm drawn to. Otherwise, I would have bought a few patterns. It's just the type of subject matter is not really something that I normally want to stitch. But I think a lot of oh, where am I? A lot of stitchers eventually become pattern designers. It's not surprising. I think it's this one. Let me double check. 3A5A. Not sure about the color. 3A5A, and I am right. It's not correct. It may be this one. Where is this one coming from? 3A30. 3A30. Okay. Oh, no idea what this is, so I'm gonna snip it off. Happens sometimes. Oh no, I know what it is. Hang on. There. Over there. This one is... I'm so confused. Where is this color coming from? So we've got one over there. That is this one. So these ones are for the next block. Right, never mind. Let me just stitch this one. Gray says, in order to stop slipping of the stitches on even weave, you need to follow the thread direction. Hard to explain on chat though. I totally get it. I suspect it probably has something to do with the fabric, how the fabric is woven. And if you take the thread towards certain direction, it just slides off grid. I get it, but it's just that I can't seem to figure the pattern. So most of the times it doesn't happen, but it happens from time to time. So I tend to just stitch again, but the last stitch is slip twice. double slip stitch. This one, I think I know what it is. I'm gonna just stitch this one anyway. So that could happen. And it's I only noticed that occasionally. I think it has happened to full cross 1/1, or probably doesn't matter as well, but not as frequent. Not as frequent. Am I going to do okay? 3/8, I think. 1, 2, 3. That doesn't look right. 3/862. Mysterious color. 3/862. Yeah, that looks right. So this one is not correct. It's good to double check. Oh, by blend colors. Jan explains. She's not, when she says blend colors, she's not referring to confetti. It's actually blending two colors to make one. Yes. That's quite fun though, isn't it? But also you can only do that when you have two strands. So does that mean you can't do single strand with her designs? Because how do you blend colors if you have just one strand? So if you want to do 25 counts, 1/1, you're in trouble. But I think most of the videos I have seen her stitching, she's been stitching 10 stitches, almost exclusively. As far as I could see, I haven't seen her stitching full stitches just yet. And also, trying to think, she doesn't park either. So she uses Saga most of the time. She was the one that probably introduced Saga to most of us. And then I'm trying to think. She probably does the Saga way, define an area and then just stitch from, you know, stitch counts based on colors, minimum to max or max to minimum. I don't know which way she does it. But she's quite fast as well, I think. I don't know if she's as fast as Komari. Maybe we can have a tournament of all the fast stitchers on YouTube. See who the winner is. And 1, 2, 3 from here. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I already have one. How strange. It's the same color. Let me just end it then. It's a mystery. I keep forgetting to mark part threads, so I get very confused. Dante says, I have 3 patterns from Stitching Masterpieces waiting in my Etsy chart I desperately want, but can't currently afford. Oh, are they quite pricey then? I haven't checked the prices. I know she sells them on Etsy. Let me just cut this bit off as well to avoid any confusion there. Oh my goodness. Dante explains, if it were 25 count, 1/1, we're talking about blending colors here. You do the bottom leg in one color and the other top, and the top the other. My goodness, I never thought of that. Is that how it's done normally? I had no idea. I thought maybe you just can't do it. You just have to do 2 strands. Oh goodness, that is interesting. That's very interesting. Yes, I can imagine that will work. Ha. Wow. I think I'll probably just go for easy option, having 2 strands. 2/1 is easier. Oh, Faben. Faben, sorry, I missed your comment. Just got it now. Faben, is that correct? Just discover your channel. Unfortunately, I have to have to sleep now. We'll watch SAP. Don't worry, everything's in archive, so you're not gonna miss a thing. And she says it's so chill, and the picture looks so cozy. I know, I know. This is a very relaxing session, stitching with me. Oh, I have a sweet dream. Have a sweet dream. Thank you for coming on to say hello, and come join us next time. And welcome. River says, I want a hobbit house. Oh, it's one of her patterns, is it? Or whatever it is, the Stitching Masterpiece is doing Hobbiton. Ha. Yes. And get the pattern for sure. Because her stitching is so neat and beautiful. I just wish I can see the stitches a little bit closer. And she's always stitching in a really beautiful, peaceful place. Like there's it's a view outside the window. I don't know where she lives, maybe the countryside. But it's always really beautiful and peaceful. And 1, 2 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4 here. And I'm going to part to the left, to the right, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There. Oh, doesn't make sense. Never mind. Let me end this thread. I think I may have part a couple of threads in the wrong location on a block to the right, so that caused the confusion. Oh, so this one is okay. It didn't slip. That's nice. So I don't know why it slips sometimes, why it doesn't. 779. Oh, so she does minimum to max. We're talking about the lady from Stitching Masterpieces. Yeah, that makes sense. I always go from minimum to max. That's the way it makes sense, isn't it? Because you start from loose single stitches everywhere, and then you increase the numbers, so everything, you know, all the threads you carry over to different locations get stitched down properly. Absolutely. 1, 2. I definitely enjoy the way it works. John says, I don't know, guess, oh, she says, my eyes and brains don't let me do half stitches. I've tried doing half stitches in the past. I make many mistakes, making me upset. I'm a full cross person. Then stick with full cross. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I kind of didn't try half stitches for slightly different reasons. I kind of had this purest thought, you know, idea about what cross stitching should be, because I thought, well, it says on the tin it's cross stitching, so what am I doing without doing the cross? But then I decided to try it this year, beginning of this year. I'm so glad I did. But it is a little bit difficult if you look at the what I did with the last session there. All the loose stitches here, for me, it's very hard for my eyes to interpret where they actually are. So within a block, it's a lot more structured. I can handle it. But when you start to wander off to multiple blocks, I really had problems last time. So, you know, that's my limitation right now. So I'm fine with it. And I'm happy with color completion. Have a sip on my tea. But if it's not for you, you know, just do full cross. Absolutely no problem at all. Dante says the same. Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. Yes, I'm okay as long as within a block. I can handle it. Roxy, hello. I won't do a pattern with blends. That's where the patience ends. Well, I don't mind it when, because I have a couple pieces actually have some blend threads, but only like 3 or 4 different versions. You know, it's not a huge amount. So I don't mind it. I can imagine if I have to do a lot of it, it would be a little bit annoying. Particularly if you have to do one leg first and then remember to do the other leg. with different colors. That's maybe a bit too hardcore for me. I think it's always good to know one's limitation. You know, there's nothing good is going to come out of having to kind of just force something on yourself just because you feel like you have to do it. You don't. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. One more here. One, 2, 3. One more. One, 2. Oh, this bit is a little bit tighter. This is sometimes happens when you have a lot of threads. Kind of a crossover underneath. Let me see if I can end this one here. Oh dear. This one's getting a little bit short. I might end my threads here. Oh, night, Joyce. Yes, nighty-night time for Joyce now. It's past midnight there. You've done well, my love. Enjoy your beauty sleep. And River says, I won't do charts with back stitches. Yeah, everybody's have their own sort of boundaries. You know, there's certain things you just not enjoy doing. Then yeah, let that go. Stitch something else. And Joy says before she went to bed, when you stitch slips, try to reverse it. Okay. If you start from bottom left, start from top right. Yes, that's what I did. Kind of instinctively, I thought, well, if I go kind of opposite direction, maybe it wouldn't do that. Yes. Yes. Thank you for that, Joyce. And there's one more here. And I'll keep going till it's midnight here in London. That's about another 25 minutes to an hour's time. I'm feeling good. 1, 2. 3. 4. There's one more. quite a few stitches of this color here. There's one more. 1, 2, 3. Here. You know these gray borders here, the grid, sometimes I just mistaken them as stitch area. If I'm stitching really pale colors and then end up not stitching those areas. That can happen. Oh, looking nice. So let me move on to this color 3A57. 3A57. Beautiful. I've got one thread here. So I'm still learning about the fabrics, you know. Is there such a thing as 25 count Ada? Because most of the times when stitches get so small, because Ada is probably like what I was stitching yesterday, you know, the 14 count, nice and big. That I know is Ada. Is there such a thing as 25 count or 28 count Ada? Anyone? Because I think Ada is the ones you can tell, you know, the area you're supposed to stitch. Whereas even weave, you just see threads, kind of like this, crossing over each other. But when it goes up to 22 counts, 25 counts, can you still get something like that's defined as Ada? Oh, okay. So Roxy says, I think 20 is the highest count Ada. Okay. Okay. Yes. Can you? Sarah says, I have one on 25 count Ada. What does that look like then? Because that's all the whole point of Ada is that you can, it's easier for the eyes to spot, you know, where the cross is supposed to go over. But when the stitches are so small, what do you see? That is a mystery in my mind. What do you actually see? Nikki says, I never heard of 25 or 28 Ada. So, okay. So there's 25, Sarah? Google it. Why not? Do you think we will get a proper answer though? Okay, let's have a look. Let's have a little Google session here. We haven't done it today. Why not? Let me bring on my googly bits here. And we can do a little Google. Why not? Hang on, let me set that up. Forgot to bring this up today. Here, right, here we go. So how should I Google 25 count Ada? Let's have a look. What are we looking at? Easy count 25, but that's even week, right? Where do I get easy count Ada? That's 14 counts. 25 count, that's Etsy. 14 to 28 count white cross stitch fabric Ada. Hang on, let's have a look. 28 counts. There's no 25. Is that exclusively even weave? 28 counts. Oh, but how is that different? Okay, so the threads seem to be woven together a little bit closer, so there's a little bit more white areas there. So it might be easier for the eyes. I didn't know you have that option. Anybody stitch 28 on the Ada? Yeah, it may be a little bit easier on the eyes. It is possible. 22. Okay, 22 Ada, I can imagine. I've got 22. You get to see the white area a little bit more. Let me have a look. Maybe if I switch this off, it's easier to see. Yeah. What do you think, everyone? Roxy says Ada and even weave is different. Are you sure 25 is Ada? It says it's an Ada here though from the vendor on eBay. Very trustworthy for sure. Fabric Ada material. And there's suspiciously, there's no 25 count. So maybe there isn't such a thing. But if you look at the texture here, it's not that different from the regular even weave though. It seems the threads are closer together a little bit more. Let me see if I can find something else here. It's inconclusive right now. That's even weave that we recognize. That's even weave as well. How is that different from Ada then? What is the definition of Ada? That's even weave. Yeah, even weave, you can see the holes a little bit more. You know, I think we're familiar with that one. Oh, hang on. Is that comparison? Ada, linen, or even weave? Difference and counts. Here we go. Right. Ada fabric is certainly the single most popular. Okay, I'm looking for definition. The name Ada refers to a particular weave of fabric that was invented by Zweger. Is that how it's pronounced? In 1908. Ada is generally made from 100% cotton and comes in several different counts, as large as 6 counts, as fine as 20 counts. It doesn't say there's anything above. As fine as 20 counts. Herta has often used for teaching children or beginners to cross stitch because it's easier to see. Okay, 18 and 20 count fabrics are for more experienced cross stitchers. They're looking for a finer or more detailed look. Okay, so at least according to this definition, there's anything above 20, we're going into even weave territory. Ada country furniture. So even weave, we're familiar with, evenly woven. So any fabric which has the same number of threads per inch in both the vertical and horizontal directions, and all the threads have the same thickness. Okay, because Ada, you have the white area that you can spot. The counts are different from Ada because in this case, we do not count the squares, but the threads. Oh, okay. Not sure what that means. Oh, the inch square. Normally, even weaves are what, over 2 threads. When you're following the charts, you will miss one hole and go to the next. Ha. Okay, yes, even weave. So basically, you stitch on a square of 2 by 2 threads. Yes, you're just even woven. Okay, that is easy to understand. So, what's the verdict, guys? Do you think? Sarah insists it says 25 count Ada. Just because you have cakes, Sarah, it doesn't mean you can you can prove there's such a thing as 25 count Ada. Oh, Gritty is going to sleep. 99.99. She's in Europe as well. Yes, Nikki Googled 1, 2, 3 stitch, nothing comes up. That kind of thought, yeah, that probably confirms my suspicion. I was guessing maybe that's how it's divided. But does that mean there's even weave? That is 14 counts though. It doesn't sound like it because the way it's woven. Is there such a thing? Oh, let's have a look. Even weave. I'm trying to see if it provides any information on. Oh, it says the most common count of even weave is 28 count. Is that most common? What about 25? That's most common. 32. So it has to be even number. So how come we have even weave of 25 counts? The mystery deepens. Yeah, if it's woven by 2 threads, there should be even number, right? So that doesn't make sense because I'm stitching on 25 count even weave. It's supposed to get clearer, not more confusing. Dear Almighty. Oh, is it? So Nikki says, I see it on Amazon. But Amazon, can you trust Amazon? Let's see. 28 count Ada, Amazon. Oh, no, there's 25 counts. No. Ada, it says even weave. There's no Ada. 25 counts Ada. Nikki just bought it. What? John says, so this is what I've been doing. When I order on Etsy, it says Zweiger 25 count, easy count, Lugana. Does that mean that's Ada? I thought that's kind of a type of even weave. Yes, John is even weave, yes. Oh, Carrie joined us. Sorry, I missed that. Carrie, hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Carrie, cover all bases. John is surprised she's stitching on even weave. I think if you're doing 25 counts, you're probably doing even weave of some sort. I don't know. Does that help with the understanding? I'm kind of But according to this article anyway, the highest count for Ada seems to be 20. That's what it says. Let me find that bit. Yeah. There. From 6 count as fine as 20 counts. Everyone. No way, Jan. So you refer to 25 and 28 as Ada. Yes. No, darling. You've been upgraded without knowing. Jan, don't cry. You should be celebrating. Happy tears, happy tears. Oh, really? So I couldn't find 25 counts Ada on Amazon, though. Shall I do a little look? No, I want Ada, not even weave. Where is it? Maybe again, only in the US, not available here for the UK. Oh, hang on. Hang on, everyone. 25 count? Ada? Really? But how is that different from even weave? It looks very similar. 25 count, white. So what's the definition of Ada then? It looks very similar. Well, it looks slightly maybe more stiff. Because even weave can be kind of just fabric, like without this kind of starch fill a lot of Ada has. Yes, John, you need to buy one to see what exactly you're stitching with. Lugana. I thought Lugana was just a type of even weave. My head is spinning. Why is Joyce going to sleep? Seriously, when we need her. Or Karen, seriously. Anyone? We shall see on Thursday. Oh dear. Yeah, but it does say Ada here though, 25 counts. So it does exist. It does look like it might be easier to stitch. Can you not see the it seems like it's got more structure there. A little bit. Oh, the mind boggles. But it comes in fixed size. It might be a good option. If you're a little bit intimidated by even weave, you could go for Ada. It just looks maybe a little bit friendlier for the eyes. Oh, there you go. Who knows? It's I didn't know that. So why would that article say up to 20 counts? Is it not? That's incorrect. Or maybe the vendor is confused on the package. John, you're a pro stitcher. You just didn't know. Now you do. Congratulations. Man, it's still inconclusive though. Even though the package does say Ada there. Heather says, Ada is a special weave. Even weave just has one thread per count, while Ada is woven. That doesn't help me, Heather. So even weave, if I take it literally, it's just 2 threads crossing each other like we're seeing here, right? That makes sense. But how do you get 25 counts then if it's, you know, it's supposed to even? 25 count is not even. My head. And Heather says, even tiny counts of Ada have those multiple threads. Oh, I see. So even 25 counts each thread. So even weave here, you're saying that's one thread and that's the another thread. Whereas Ada, there are multiple threads within. But how, in terms of appearance, wouldn't they still come out roughly the same? Because Ada are, well, I don't know, most Adas I've used their lower counts. So it's kind of quite a large area that you can see where the cross is supposed to go. But does that mean, though, Heather, that there's no such a thing as 14 count even weave? That would be a very fat threads we need, right? If we flip it to the other side. So Heather's saying even tiny count of Ada, like 25 counts, each thread looking things will have multiple threads in each direction per square. Oh, Heather says you will not have problem stitches slipping under. I get it, because there are multiple threads, so there's nowhere to slip, right? So I can prove what I'm stitching is definitely even weave, because it's slipping like no one's business. Yes, but why do you give 25 counts then? And Heather says burlap is an even weave with very low thread count. Oh. So very low thread counts, does that mean because 14 counts by default, they're big stitches, right? So does that mean the thread's just really fat? Even weave, 14 count even weave, for instance. Okay, so burlap is not even weave, but the threads are thick. Okay, 13 to 16 per inch. Oh, I've never seen those. Nikki says it's 25 stitches per square. Okay, not 25 threads. So in theory, you can have any arbitrary number of stitches per square, right? If you can have odd numbers as well, because so far the counts that we follow is like 11. Oh, okay, 11 is odd number as well, and 11, 14, 16, 18, or even numbers, and then you have 18, 20, 22, and suddenly it goes into an odd number, 25. Someone explains. Why do they make it so confusing? Yeah, you have 11 counts, which is odd number as well, per inch. Okay, per square. Okay, not per square, per inch. Heather says 14 count even weave will have thick threads like burlap. Why don't we have a little googly of burlap? I've never heard of the term. So burlap. Is it B-A? B-R? B-A? Where's the comment? Heather per inch. I'm trying to look up. Oh, B-U-R. Lap. Would that be Ada? Oh, I've seen fabrics like this before. I just think they're Ada. They're a little bit yellowy. Why are they yellow? Let's have a look at some pictures here. Oh, they look very stiff. I've seen these ones before. Is it good to stitch though? They look very, am I looking the right thing? Where does it say burl? Oh yeah, sand vintage, burlap cloth, Ada, canvas. It does look very stiff though. Which count is it? It's 10 counts. So, oh, that's really big. Right. I see. Wow. So it's 10 count. I never seen 10 count Ada. It's like super big. 14 count even weave. Okay. Suzanne says even weave means that both warp and weft, two new words in my vocabularies, everyone, are the same size and would be the same square per inch. Same square per inch. So these look super big. There's no sort of comparison with other fabric, but I presume these, if these are bigger than 14 count. Whoa, it's brand new. Whoa, I had no idea. Let me have a look here. Yeah, they all have this really beautiful earthy colors. Is it the material they're being made from? I don't know. Burlap? They all have these sort of sandy colors. I have no idea. Burlap, Ada, cloth. Oh, but some of them look, oh, these probably not correct. These ones. Very interesting. So there is such a thing as wow. Okay. There's 27 count too. Man. I've never, yeah, probably those type of fabrics being used by maybe people who stitch like samplers, because within the full coverage, I've rarely seen people using anything other than even weave if they go up to kind of 25 onwards. 27 counts. Oh, Suzanne explains warp is the threads go threads long ways on the fabric, and weft is the sideways thread. Okay, different directions. Steve says Yogi needs to Google warp and weft. Oh my goodness, yeah, I do. But now I understand it. It's just the orientation, the direction of the threads, so they know what they're referring to. Weaving terms, which I have no clue. Oh yes, Susan is a weaving teacher. That's why we've got an expert here. How handy. Yes, there you go. So there is such a thing as 25 count Ada. So how come no one is using it? Is it just people not aware that they're there? And also, I think even weave, it seems to be a bit softer to stitch from the look anyway. I don't know. Because Ada, you know, of any kind tend to be more starched. It feels like that anyway. It's more stiff, maybe, so it's easier to stitch. And also with full coverage, it probably doesn't matter whether it's Ada or even weave, because you're not really looking at the fabric anyway. Everything's covered up. So it probably doesn't matter what the fabric looks like, whether it's Ada or even weave. Suzanne says, if you know where the selvages are, that is the side of the fabric. Ah, so the web goes that way. I'm not sure that helps my brain, Suzanne, but thanks for explaining. I'm sure many people in the chat understood that perfectly. Ah, right, Carla, I like it. Carla says, fancy names for horizontal and vertical. Exactly. When you put in human language, suddenly it becomes clear. Yes, it's just two different directions. Very nice. But I like jargon. It makes you look smart. I remember I was when I was working as a designer, I did a project for a law database company. I designed a kind of a app interface for them, and they actually specifically asked me, because the whole point of user experience is to make things very plain, just like Carla did. You know, if you say, well, it's just the threads running horizontal or vertical instantly, is correct, but the brief of the project was specifically telling me not to use plain language because those lawyers don't like it. Because if it's plain for their clients, no one will spend money on them. You know what I mean? They have to stay cryptic and using terms that just sound really, really smart and cannot be understood by normal people. So that's when I had inner battle on whether I should stay on the project. So my job is supposed to make it easier, but they're telling me, no, don't do that. Yogi, no, keep it mysterious. So there you go. Oh, Suzanne says, I like working on 29 count for full coverage. Man, I've never heard of that. I know 32. I know 28 count, which I'm going to be working on from Saturday. Heather says, full coverage cross-stitch today is descended in part from Berlin woolwork, which has often stitched with woolen yarn on large count fabric. Oh, there's a little bit of a stitching, cross-stitching history. You know, I've seen those really, really old pieces like antique, real antique, not stylistic antique. Pieces from, God knows, Victorian time and beyond. They're so beautiful. It's just so beautiful. Samplers are just, I love full coverage, but samplers, they're so pretty. Oh, is it Quilia? She asked, I'm presuming it's a lady, how do you get your fabric so tight? Great question. Chat. Some of you might know how I get my fabric so tight. There's a price to pay, that's all I'm saying, okay? I just tighten the hoop a lot. And if they don't break, then you get really tight tension, like really good here. So that's my secret. Let me zoom out a little bit. So this is just a very regular hoop I'm using. But I make sure they have a screw attachment, not just a dial, which I can use a screwdriver like this to screw it really tight. And let me just whisper, sometimes they break, okay? It happens. But if they don't break, you get beautiful tension like this. There you go. Your choice. Your choice. Yeah, Carla, exactly. Jan is having a crisis, existential crisis. Roxy says you have to make the product around different and better than the competitor. Yes, exactly. A little bit of competition is good. That's why I occasionally be a little bit critical on Markup RXP, because I think they have potential. They just need to improve. And this will make other apps improve as well. And we get the benefit. Yeah, Roxy says, pull and pull again. Exactly. Just, there's nothing cryptic about it. Just pull really hard and score really hard, okay? That's it. and see what happens. Yes. Oh, Sarah, it's good to have you. Sarah is going to have a nappy nap. So night night, Sarah, enjoy. And it's about around the time for me to sign out as well. It's midnight here, 1 past 12, midnight here in London. I'm still wide awake. I'll have to watch my own videos to help me to sleep. Okay, everyone. And so I'm going to show you what I've done today. And night night to Sarah here. And let me zoom out a little bit. So today I haven't done too badly at all. So I started to tidy up a couple of blocks here and managed to complete 2 full blocks and a little bit more, okay? And complete one color at a time, working with the part threads that are already there. And let me show you my app here to show you how many stitches I've done. And before I do that, let me show you this beautiful markup. Oh no, this one we're going to do on Saturday. Okay, you know what to do, guys. And this is the design I've been stitching on. I'm starting from upper left here, so you can see the blue background, and I'm working on that copper looking pot there, and diagonally downwards in no particular strict direction there. It's a beautiful design, and if you love it, go get it. It's a mini version, so you know you have some sort of side project for you to work on. And from here I am going to show you my app. So today I've done pretty okay, above average, 216 stitches, everyone. Round of applause for Yogi. Such a passive aggressive person. And yes, so normally my average is about 200 or maybe slightly below, depends on my stitching method and how much distraction, how much googling I'm doing, and percentage wise 3.46. So not bad, not bad. I'm easing into 3.5 slowly, and I'm really enjoying this way of stitching. Last time I tried the mini cross country and you know, slightly overwhelmed, so I'm happy to switch back to block by block. I'm much happier this way. So that's what I have completed today. And so let me just keep the maybe zoom out a little bit more, maybe zoom in, you can see the stitches. This is beautiful piece here. So from here Yogi is going to sign out. It's a beautiful piece for midnight here in London, and lucky you if you're still in the daytime, still have some time on Saturday left, Sunday left for you. Enjoy every moment and keep stitching. And I'll be back and catch up with you in the next session with another piece. I have no idea what I'm going to be stitching the next piece, so it's going to be a surprise for me, a surprise for you. Okay, that's my promise. And let me just quickly have a look at the app before I go. And oh, Heather, she's still in the rabbit hole. Ada, someone help her and get her out of the rabbit hole. So from here, night night everyone, and enjoy your time stitching. I had a great time chatting with you. You're amazing. So until next time, nighty night everyone. Night night.